Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. If you're like me, you probably hate change. Not really hate, reluctant. That might be a better word, reluctant than change, depending on what it is. For me, out here on the road, some of the roads that I run now are 4-lane roads, and when I started driving, they were 2-lane roads. For instance, going from Memphis, Tennessee, down to Birmingham, that used to be called Highway 78, and I still find myself from time to time referring to it as Highway 78, even though now it's called Interstate 22. Ran through little towns. It was windy. There was no shoulder, and lots of pine trees and trees. So at nighttime, it made it exceptionally dark, and you really had to pay attention or you would run off the road just because, your headlights wouldn't pick the road up good, or whatever the reason. You really had to pay attention going down through there, as well as watching out for the deer. And there's other things that changed. Is maybe now is better than the way we used to do things, but I think also it's becoming worse than the way we used to do things. For instance, I've loaded at places before and their computers goes down. You have to wait until the computer comes back up before they will write out a set of bills. They won't write them out by hand because then that messes up the account, the counting and the inventory and stuff, which means that I could sit there for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long it takes for the system to come back up. All the while my time is clicking away and couldn't possibly make me late for delivery tomorrow. Some of the laws that they use now in trucking, we have to use electronic logs, and we have what's called the 14-hour rule. So when you start your day, 14 hours later, you are done regardless. There's no, if you go past that, you're in a violation. So time management is a huge factor now. That's why you see a lot of drivers, we're racing that clock to try and get to where we need to be for tomorrow. And while that's no excuse, the government come out and said that would make us safer drivers, when the opposite has happened. It's made us, like I said, we're racing against that clock, so we'll tend to take some risks when we shouldn't. I've finally gotten to the point where I just don't care, and when I get there, I'll get there. And so sometimes I see things that have changed from when I was younger to now, and it's not good. And I'm sure our grandparents, that if they're still alive, the changes that they've seen, they can really complain about. We tend to stay on our phones, on the internet, and not engage in conversation. Used to be when you'd go to a place to load or deliver, the drivers would gather on the docks and laugh and cut up and tell jokes and what have you. Now you get to a place, there's nobody there. They're all sitting in their trucks and they're on their phone looking at Facebook or watching movies or whatever. They don't engage in conversation. Go to any restaurant, any time of day, if there's a couple sitting at the table, either one or both will be on their phone looking at things instead of engaged in conversation. Even if it's just trivial stuff, just the mere fact of talking to each other is slowly diminishing. If you want to mess up the younger generation now, write in cursive. They don't teach cursive in school. So we're seeing a lot of things that's changing that supposedly the experts are telling us is for the better, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing it for the better. Some of it is, like I said, yeah, some of it is, but for the most part, I slowly see where we're losing our communication skills. We're losing our skill to be able to listen to one another, to engage in conversation, have a debate where at the end of the debate, we've not changed each other's opinion and we just agree to disagree. You don't even see that no more. Now it's more, Well, if you don't believe what I believe in, then you're stupid. You know, we've lost the ability to debate. And we can go on and on and on. But what I'm getting at this morning is that the God I serve, he doesn't change. He's the same as yesterday, today, and he'll be the same tomorrow. And that's such a comfort to know that in these trying times, when everything else is going haywire and you feel like there's nowhere to turn for comfort or for just a loving voice or what have you, you can always turn to the Savior, and he's there waiting with open arms to give you love and comfort. Hebrews, the 13th chapter, verse 8. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Just remember that when you feel like your world is falling apart and just, you know, some of the things I've listed today, we've all experienced that. And at the end of the day, we're frustrated with whatever happened through the day. Just remember, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever.